Hey guys, welcome to Sessions and welcome to Brazil. So we're back at it and we're filming for another episode of Destinations, and I'm pretty stoked to be down here. It's been about 6 years for me, and this is actually where it all started. First came down here in 2012 with my good friend Chris Bobrick, and we did our first kiteboarding edits together. So I mentioned a part of the series would be filming with other riders, and we've got 3 people that we're linking up with down here on this trip. So first up, we're going to catch up with Lucas Arsenault in a small fishing village called Taiba. Now Lucas and I tried to get a shoot going on the Bahamas earlier in the spring, but things just didn't line up with the wind, so I'm feeling pretty optimistic about conditions down here in Brazil. Now next on the agenda, we're making our way south down to the Kite Mansion, where we're going to catch up with the Kite Park League. We're going to be filming with Colleen Carroll and Sensei Graves. Fitting, as I actually first met these two down in Taiba my first time around in Brazil. So I'm pretty excited to catch up and just see what they've built down here at the mansion. So we've got a busy week ahead of us, so let's get to it. So it's day 1 here in Taiba, and we just got the car packed up and we're going to make our way over to the lagoon. So we're going to link up with Lucas Arsenault again. And if you've been following this series, you probably caught the episode where we were filming in the Bahamas and the wind was a bit light. So we're hoping for a bit of redemption. You know, we're in Brazil, so no doubt the wind's going to be quite a bit better here. And then after that shoot, I'm probably going to just throw a GoPro up and just try to get a quick session in myself in the evening here. We got a long day ahead of us. We'll catch you down at the water. Quite a bit has changed in a couple of months for Lucas and Cabrinha. This year, he's crossed over to the international team, and he's won the Canadian Nationals. Now, Lucas isn't the only one to have interesting news. In 2019, Cabrinha is doing away with the MACkite, meaning the FX is now their premier freestyle kite. Like always, I try to incorporate some gear talk into these vlogs, and when it comes to reviews or versus videos, I make a point to either extensively ride the gear myself or consult someone who has. In this case, Lucas was the perfect candidate to get up to speed on the Chaos versus the FX. Expect a full versus video on this in the future. We'll touch base on that more in a moment here too. Lucas wasn't the only rider I had plans to film on this trip. I'm also here filming for our 2019 Destinations Travel Guide. As this series is presented by Duotone Kiteboarding, I needed to link up with someone from their team. Originally, I had plans to link up with Xander Wraith, a new Duotone rider. Due to a hiccup at the airport, things didn't quite line up. Luckily, thanks to some friends at Posada Amarela, I was introduced to Lopez. Aside from possibly being the most stylish strapless freestyle rider on the planet right now, Machu's a really genuine and chill dude, who's more than happy to help out and do a bit of filming for the series. Day 3 in Brazil for us, and we've been hitting it pretty hard. Been riding every day. We've kind of got a nice little routine going. We wake up, get a session in, come back, get lunch, get some hammock time in, and then get an evening set. So like I mentioned earlier, one of the goals on this trip was to have a little redemption shoot and get some more footage of Lucas Arsenault riding. And so far we've got 1 day under our belt, and we're feeling pretty good about it. We should get one more shoot tomorrow. Alright, let's be honest. You don't want to see me talking in a hammock. Let's just cut to the next session. So it's like day 4 here, and we're just wrapping up our last day of shooting with Lucas here.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you again here in Brazil.
Cheers.
Our last time wasn't so lucky in the Bahamas, but we had to come to Brazil to find the real wind.
That's right, you have to go where the wind blows, and it doesn't always blow in the Caribbean, so makes for some pretty good footage though.
Yeah, a lot more easier and consistent, so yeah, check it out.
No doubt. So we're gonna set up here and we're gonna mess around. Everybody's doing all the freestyle, and then I think we might just goof around and go find a private little lagoon and
see what we can find.
See what we can find and have some shots. Get creative.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Cheers. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I had a chance to speak with Lucas about crossing over from the Chaos to the FX, and that's a pretty common question for up-and-coming freestyle riders. If you click the eye icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll open a new tab on our blog where I'll include a write-up from Lucas and his thoughts on switching to the FX exclusively. He's not the only rider we linked up with on this trip, so there will be much more than that as well. After wrapping up our shoot, I was able to get my last session in at the lagoon in Taiba. It's been a while since I've rode here, and I gotta tell you, it's been a while since I've rode anywhere with wind this smooth. So far it's been beyond fun filming and riding in near perfect conditions every day. With our trip only being half finished, the journey continued about 4 hours south in a less traveled part of Brazil.